Well, on 18 February of 1966, there were two planes from our squadron that were escorting an Air Force reconnaissance plane over the Gulf. And through a series of events, the airplane in which I was the radar intercept officer was shot down by a surface-to-air missile right over the coast at Thanh Hoa, which was about 90 miles south of Hanoi. Came down in my parachute out in the water. Their equivalent of the National Guard came out in a log boat, picked me up in about 15 minutes, turned around and headed for shore. As soon as it got dark, they stuck me in a Jeep, and about 6 o'clock the next morning, we pulled up in front of what became to be known as the Hanoi Hilton, the old French prison in downtown Hanoi. I was in Hanoi just short, well, as in North Vietnam, just short of 7 years. It was 2,552 days. I was around the 75th American captured in North Vietnam. You'll discover that you can get beat up pretty good, and that you heal from that amazingly well. The scrapes and scratches go away, the black and blue spots go away. The physical aspect of it is easier to deal with than the mental aspect. The fear of the unknown was, it's very hard to describe, but it is very real. Optimism was sometimes in short supply, but when you did have the occasion to get some news from others that were there, you'd ask, the most asked question was, when are we going to get out of here? And almost invariably the answer was, we'll get out of here in 6 months, or certainly by Christmas. That was the kind of the carrot that was always in your mind, that, well, we might not be home this year, but we'll certainly be home by next Christmas. And we thought that each year as it came along. Christmas was a strong link to what we knew people were experiencing with Christmas back here. And the fact that we could experience the very same basic love and strength that comes from Christmas no matter where you are, that's very comforting. We were singing the same Christmas carols, we were thinking that same Christmas story, celebrating the same Christmas Mass that people were back home. It was a link, a very strong link. They acknowledged Christmas. They had a scraggly Christmas tree in one of the interrogation rooms, and room by room they took people up there for 10 minutes to see the Christmas tree. The tenor of captivity mellowed a little bit as Christmas approached. A week before Christmas, if people had been in leg irons or in handcuffs and things like that, they tended to back off a little bit. That's when, if there were going to be letters passed out anytime, that was probably when it was going to be, was at Christmas time. You could hear church bells ring in the evening on Christmas Eve. We had our quiet little church service. We sang Christmas carols, but the highlight of Christmas there was the true, honest feeling of love and respect and hope that came to each one of us as we shared that day together. It was pretty basic, but it was very much closer to the real situation of Christmas time and the importance of what's really the crux and the heart of the Christmas story. The old saying about there are no atheists in foxholes is pretty darn true. And that's not unique to the POW experience. It's under times of stress that we all realize that we can't cope with all this by ourselves. We need help. And for us too. Boy, guys, didn't take long to remember the 23rd Psalm and repeat that every morning, because sometimes we felt like, yea, though I go in the valley of the shadow of death. That was pretty understandable. The fear no evil was kind of a little shaky sometimes, you know, but it's that the basic stories and the basic belief are what sustains you when things get bad. I don't claim to be any smarter today than I would have been otherwise, but I do claim that I learned some very valuable lessons at a much earlier age than I would have otherwise. And that's what has enriched my life over these last 42 years since 1966 when I got shot down. It has been a rich, wonderful experience, and I appreciate it so much more than I would have otherwise.
Larry so appreciates the primary aspects of decorating and a tree and having those things around him, which he missed for so many years, and being able to worship at Christmas Eve service or Christmas Day. That means a lot. It's that freedom that he didn't have for so many years.
We sometimes go to 2 or 3 services and and just enjoy feeling that the warmth and the message and being part of the group, just feeling that it almost washes over you. It's a very real, palpable feeling that you get.